Welcome to the Irish Craft Beer Show and welcome to Convention Centre Dublin for the 2018 Alltech Craft Brews and Food Fair. I'm Brian Condren and I'll be joined later by John the Beer Nut Duffy as we sample some of the best craft breweries of Ireland have to offer while finding out what the newer brewers have in store for us. This is the fourth time John and I have covered this festival and has matured into one of my favourite beer events of the year. The weekend began on a more sombre note, however, as news broke that the promoter of this festival and founder of Alltech, Dr. Pierce Lyons, had passed away. Always a regular sight at this festival, Dr. Lyons was born in Dundalk and after working in the distilling industry in Ireland, he emigrated to Kentucky where he founded Alltech and grew it into the billion-dollar business it is today. In recent years, he's invested heavily in the drinks industry in Ireland with such ventures as Stationworks Brewery in Newry and the Pierce Lyons Distillery in Dublin. He will be missed. As a tribute to him, I intend to enjoy the festival he founded and long may it continue as his legacy. I was fortunate enough to be invited to a tasting event at the festival where 6 producers presented one of their drinks for analysis. Aidan from Galway Hooker presented his honey beer, very nice English pale ale style, 5.3% fermented juice and honey. Bill, the new head brewer at Rye River, presented the first series of specials from the Selbridge Brewery, a Belgian Imperial Stout. At 8% ABV, this was a beast that tastes like dark chocolate with a hint of banana. Onto the liqueurs, where Connor from Black Twist presented hard coffee, a whiskey infused with coffee beans. Not my type of drink usually, but it was a nice sipper. Old pal Dave from Stationworks presented a barrel-aged Imperial Stout. At 10.5% it was far smoother than I expected, fruity and with just the right amount of whiskey flavours in the cask. Connor from Halfpenny Dublin Gin presented a rhubarb gin. This was pink, not much more I can say about that. Finally, Darryl from Wicklow Wolf presented 2 beers. Wolf Kiss, which was a honey and elderflower ale, 6% pale ale and very easy to drink. Second beer was Born and Bred, a 5.5% brown bread and marmalade oatmeal stout, which has transported me right back to breakfast time at my granny's house. Really appreciate being invited to this event. It was the perfect way to kick off the festival. Afterwards, I hit the exhibition floor and sampled such excellent beers as the Flat White Stout from my local brewery, Hope in Kilbarrack. Rascals Brewing had their Flanders Red aged in red wine barrels, and the Farmer's Tan Brown Ale from 12 Acres in Laois was my pick of the festival. Bumped into old friend Ian, now working for Brewdog, who introduced me to Kamikaze Knitting Club, a maple stout. As usual at this festival, I turn my microphone over to John the Beer Nut Duffy to seek out some of the newer brewers here for the first time and to learn how they are going to bring something different to the table. Over to you, John.
So I'm here with Sebastian, who's the head brewer at Priory Brewing, which is one of the newest breweries in Dublin, I believe.
Well, we quite new, quite small, still developing. Only 3 beer on the market, all IPAs, but getting strong now.
Okay, so are you planning to specialise in IPAs continuously, or do other beers?
I know, definitely we'll bring other beers to the market. We'll have some special brews during the summer. Next, probably some black stuff, possibly porter. I'm a big fan of a Czech Pilsner, so Bohemian Pilsner, and other things definitely. But IPAs at the moment, that's what we like, that's what we love, that's how we started, and that's definitely our core beers, which we're gonna continue.
And you're based down in Tala?
We're based in Tala, yes, yeah.
And do you mostly sell your beers locally in South Dublin?
At the moment, we locally, not only in 24, but around South Dublin, yeah.
And where are you from originally?
Poland.
Okay. The Polish craft beer scene is quite interesting at the moment, isn't it?
It's actually hopping. It's massive. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have much chances of trying. But yeah, it's big. Although Ireland craft brew scene is massive as well nowadays. It is very big.
So the 3 IPAs you have on today, there's the original one which has been out for a little while.
Yes.
What are the hops in that?
Well, the bittering hop is Magnum, and the 2 main hops would give the characteristic, all the flavors, fruitiness. It's Mosaic and Citra.
Classic combination.
Classic combination. Well, not my favorite, but when I designed the beer, when I brewed first few batches, most of the beers I used my favorite Galaxy, but the guys didn't like it. They said, no, it has to be this. I like, well, that's the least one I like, but it's 2 against 1, so that's what we brew. And, well, it's a gold medal, so thank you. The guys were right.
And you have a session IPA and then a double IPA. Are they just stronger and weaker versions of the same one?
Pretty much. Yeah, well, like we like the original sin so much. So after debates, we just came to the conclusion. Okay, let's just make a different version of the same beer. So grain beer, the grain is very similar. Although there are other additions to session IPA to give it a bit of body and mouthful. But yeah, hops are the same. Although Mortal Sin is only Citra and Mosaic. There is no Magnum. We just decided to do all on Citra and Mosaic. Yeah.
Cool. And Original Sin, I believe, is available bottled as well.
It is available in bottles. In few of license. Same thing around few of license in Tala, around Dublin 24, and the other two beers are bottled, but that's the very first batch of both of them. So we bottle some. It will be available in bottles as well, probably next week. It's a busy week for us. But then yeah, we need to start getting it out to the public.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. We moved on to the Real Deal bar, and I'm here with Marcus, owner, founder, head brewer, chief bottle washer.
Absolutely.
How long has Real Deal been going now?
3.5 years now.
3.5 years, and you're based down
in Crossmolina, County Mayo.
And you have a fairly solid core range of beers.
Yeah, we've Jack the Lad, Pale Ale, Irish Blonde, Amber Ale, and St. Out Stout would be the three main core beers. We've a lager, General Humbert, tends to just be local. Finn's Knowledge Ale, which is just a beer that we sell locally in Mayo. Yeah. And then we've got some seasonals. Orange and Juniper was a collaboration with James Brown Brews, and we did a bit of work with the Connaught Distillery in Ballina to do a whiskey barrel-aged brown ale.
So this is Recon.
Recon, yeah. Re from Real Deal, Con from Connaught Distillery.
So what contribution did the distillers make, or was it just the barrels?
No, not really, because John Park, who is the distillery manager, is from Edinburgh and was he's done the Heriot Watt course many years ago, and he was the head brewer at Caledonian Brewery in Edinburgh for about 15 years. So he brought a lot to the party, to be honest with you, because I'd never done a barrel-aged beer before. So he helped, was a great help with the recipes, and brought a lot to the party.
And is the base brown ale, is that sort of speaking to your Northern English roots?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Northern English and Scottish. I mean, John. It was actually John's idea to do a brown ale rather than a stout or an IPA. And it's a bit different. Mm-hmm. Most of the barrel aged products out there tend to be stouts. Yeah. So it's just something a bit different. Yeah.
So what sort of cask was used for it?
Okay, so the Connaught Distillery's only been going for about 2.5 years, so obviously they don't have their own whiskey yet. So the long and the short of it is they contract bought in a load of single malt 10-year-old Teeling. They put that in their own casks, left it for about 1.5 years, and then they bottled it, and then they gave me the casks. So that's the story behind it.
Do you know the provenance of the casks before they put the whiskey in?
No, I don't, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Okay, fine. And how long did the beer get in the casks?
The beer sat in the casks just for 3.5 to 4 weeks, that's all.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Because there's a light whiskey-ish warmth to it, but it's not really a full flavour.
It was very much a part of our first meeting. For me personally, a lot of the barrel-aged products, the whiskey's overpowering. Yeah. And, I wanted my beer to come through.
Yeah.
So, and I think we, for a first attempt, I think we found a pretty good balance. I'm really pleased with it.
So is it going to be permanent?
No. I don't. Well, it's under negotiation at the moment. It just depends whether I can get continuity of casks from them.
Yeah. And do you have to age the barrels in your brewery?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the revenue complications of shipping them anywhere else, it just wouldn't be worth it. So yeah.
So it's presumably bottled and draft.
Yes, we did. We kegged and bottled it. Most of it was bottled. Okay. I mean, again, from the distillery's perspective, they have a lot of tourists around. They've got a really good visitor centre. But as the tourists come round, basically all they can offer them, everybody wants to buy something to take home. So there's merchandise, which is fine. But if they want a bottle of something, kind of the cheapest thing is a 30-35 euro bottle of gin. Yeah. So a bottle of barrel-aged beer for €4 or whatever they were selling it for, he's very attractive to people. Yeah. So they sold out very quickly.
And will you be doing more work with them?
Oh, we'll definitely do more work with them. Whether it will be more recon or
something else,
I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
cool.
Yeah, we've got a very good relationship with them, and they're good guys. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So another new brewery at the Alltech Festival this year is Ballykilcavan, and I'm here with David Walsh, chemist, founder, owner.
Yeah. I used to be head brewer, and then I hired a brewer, and I got demoted. So
that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. But
and tell me about Ballykilcavan.
So we're based on a tillage farm just outside Stradbally. I've been a tillage farmer for the last 12 years. I took over from my dad. Farm's been in the family since 1639, so I'm the 13th member of the family to be living and farming there. And it was really just a case of trying to find something to diversify the farm. So barley growing is kind of a bit dodgy at the minute. Prices aren't brilliant, and real interest in home brewing. And because we grew all the malting barley on the farm, I decided this would be something to go into.
So is it 100% your own barley?
Yeah, it's 100% our own barley. So we get the pale malt is made in Minch, which is just down the road from us in the Five, and then we send small batches off to get custom made into our crystal malts, amber malts, roasted barley. We're hopefully getting a bit of Munich malt, a few other malts made this year as well, so we can expand the range of beers.
Is that administratively difficult?
It's hard work because it's actually, to be fair, Minch are very, very good. So they come in, they cut 100 tons of barley, they take it off to their own store, and they let me come in and take out whatever I need to send off to the other maltsters. So they're very good about that. But it is hard because everything comes in one batch. So I get all my malts in for the year in one go, and all the speciality malts come in together. So they all have to be managed.
And what is this beer that we're drinking at the moment?
This is the Fresh Hop Pale Ale. So we also have 2 hop gardens on the farm, and we're growing our own hops. And what we did last year was we got a team of hop pickers in, recruited them on social media, got them in to pick the hops, brought them up to Salons where we're brewing at the minute, and used them to brew. So that's all our own barley and all our own hops.
Wow. And which hops are you growing?
I put in a heap of hops because I wasn't sure which ones would grow well. So there's Cascade, Fuggle, Golding, Northern Brewer, Magnum, bit of Hercules as well.
Okay. I think I get the first go, that kind of lemony, sort of fresh thing. It's very, very nice.
To be fair, in terms of we do a lot of recipe development, a lot of trials that we made up as we went along because we didn't know what we had, we didn't know how much alpha was in it, we didn't know a lot about it. So we basically kept adding hops until we had the bittering right, and then put the rest in as the aroma hops. And I think it's worked really well. Took a medal home from here, so very happy with that.
Excellent, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So presumably this is going to be a once a year thing?
It'll be a once a year thing, absolutely, because we harvested the hops 1st of October last year, released that, we're bottle conditioning, so it takes about 5 weeks to get the beers out, so it's kind of early November, and hopefully if the hops grow well this year, do exactly the same this year.
And how old are your hop vines?
We have some 3-year-old, some 2-year-old and some 1-year-old now, so the oldest ones will be now 3 years, so you'd like to think you're going to start getting a decent deal out of them now.
And did the recipe develop from your own home brewing?
The recipe for that, to be fair, was whatever hops we had, we put in. So we used the bittering hops. We didn't have quite enough bitterness. We put in some of the Fuggle Golding, still didn't have enough. Added some more, got it right. And then we had the Cascade and the rest of the Fuggle Golding for aroma.
And what are the other beers in your range?
So we have 3 in the core range at the minute. We have our Pale Ale, which we launched with, Red Ale, traditional Irish Red Ale, and we've just launched the IPA at the Alltech today. So all named after fields on the farm, and it's going really well so far.
And you were saying you were brewing in Salons, that's the Kildare Brewing Company?
We're brewing in Kildare Brewing Company, absolutely. So we are at the minute, I'm just waiting for the builder to turn up, hopefully this month, to get going on our own place. Kit is just about ready to order. The plan would be in by autumn of this year in our own place. So we're putting it into, it's a 230-year-old stone grain store on the farm. Get the brewery in there and then put a tourist destination in around it.
Brilliant, best of luck with that. Thank you very much.
Thanks for that.
So next brewery is 12 Acres, and I'm here with Paddy. Paddy, you the owner?
Yeah, brewer, owner, accountant, marketing, the whole lot.
So you guys have been around for a while, but your brewery is relatively new?
Yeah, we set up in 2014. We started brewing in Nine White Deer in Cork. Contract brewed on there for about 18 months, and then we set up our own place in the middle of 16. I'm brewing there since.
And this is your first Alltech festival?
It's our first Alltech, yeah. So we waited until we had a few more beers and a bit more established before we did it. So
a lot of the talk around the hall has been of your seasonal beer that you've brought, which is Farmer's Tan. Can you tell us the secret of a good Farmer's Tan?
Good Farmer's Tan, yeah. Good sunshine, but it's a pretty simple enough beer. It's 5%, nice and sessionable. Nice bit of chocolate malt, a little bit more probably than the typical brown. Heavily dry hopped, and nice bit of time in the tank, and it's not filtered or unpasteurized, obviously.
So American brown ale is the style name that you've given it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of the black IPA about it, I find.
Yeah, it is. It's bordering on a black ICBS, I suppose. It's but a little bit lighter on the bitterness and more balanced.
What gives it that fantastic hop aroma?
It's a nice American hop, Centennial. Yeah.
Funny, Centennial's kind of not as fashionable as it used to be. It's nice to see it back.
Yeah, it's a nice strong hop. You know, it's good for aroma. We like it. Nice, good flavour too. So it gives it. You definitely know what it is.
So we were over at Ballykilcavan earlier, and they have this great idea where they use malt from their own farm. Do you think that's a good idea?
Great idea. Fair play to them.
So you guys were doing that originally. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, we use our own base malt. We get it malted up in inches, about 100-ton batch. We take back what we need for the year, and they sell on the rest. But yeah, so it's all our base malt is 100% traceable. Obviously, your specialty malt isn't. But so yeah, and we use our own spring water as well, which is not treated, no chlorine, nothing added. You know, so definitely helps.
So you have a core range of 3 now. Is that correct?
Well, I think we've 4 now with Farmer Stand.
Oh, Farmer Stand's going to be a core, okay.
Yeah, we'll have to. It's cool. So it's great reaction to it, great feedback. So we'll make it permanent.
And you had a winter seasonal. That was an oatmeal stout, wasn't it?
Winter is coming. We'll have another one in summer. We're bringing out a summer seasonal, autumn seasonal, and we bring back winter is coming. And we have our rye IPA and our single malt lager.
Fantastic.
Of course.
Are you planning to expand or do anything?
Well, we've a nice bit of capacity. We have a 20 hectare plant, and so we'll hopefully get that up to capacity, and that's the plan, you know. So we'll bring on more seasonals and push on our core range as well for the next few years, hopefully. So that's the plan, yeah.
And how was the Dublin Cup to you? Did you get many medals?
Yeah, we got bronze in the lager. Winter's coming, and the pale ale, all bronze, and Farmer Stand got gold. So that was
fantastic.
Yeah, delighted with that, thrilled. So yeah, nice bit of recognition, makes the hard slog worth it, you know. So we're thrilled.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
So our next brewery is Larkins, and I'm here with Killian, who is the owner of Larkins, I believe.
That's correct. Yeah, one of the owners.
Where are you guys based?
We're based in Kilcool in County Wicklow.
And you're fairly new to the market. When did you guys set up?
So we started setting up the brewery in February 2017, started brewing in May, did a very soft launch in September 2017, and here we are, March 2018, with the real launch.
So this is the real launch. The range that you have here are your main beers?
Correct.
Okay, and we've noticed there's a sort of a lager theme running through the brewery. Is that deliberate or...?
Very deliberate, yes. So it's definitely a style of beer that we're focused on. We feel that it's been a bit neglected by other breweries, macro and micro, and it's a style that we're really passionate about, and well, we think that a lot of other people will get on that as well.
It's wonderful to see our brewery doing good lager. It's something I think it's massively underappreciated. So you have a Helles, a Märzen, a Doppelbock, a Baltic Porter, and then an IPA and a Pale Ale.
Correct.
No Pilsner?
Not yet.
You're planning one?
We are.
The Doppelbock is what I'm drinking at the moment. Sorry, no, it's not the Doppelbock, it's the Baltic Porter. I love Baltic Porter. Tell me about Baltic Porter.
So it's a cross between a Russian Imperial Stout and an English Porter, and we brewed this one with a lager yeast, so it's the real traditional lager way. So it's been in the tank for 40 days, and that one there was kegged yesterday morning.
And are you going to be bottling this or just draft?
That's bottled now as well.
And where are your beers available?
Well, we've been in talks with a large supermarket chain and some of the big independent off-licenses, as well as the distributor, so watch this space. So
is the bottle angle sort of your primary focus?
Well, we look at the beer style and then we kind of decide whether we feel it should be better in a bottle or in a can. For the Baltic Porter, the Doppelbock and the Märzen, we definitely felt that they were real traditional bottled beers, so yeah.
And can you find your beer in pubs in the locality of the brewery?
Yeah, so we're in Kilcool, and we're in the Harbour Bar in Bray, and the Horse and Hound in Delgany, but starting from today, we'll be putting a lot more effort into getting into a lot more bars.
So we'll see your beer in Dublin, for example?
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A major part of this festival are the awards. This year the Dublin Cider Cup was awarded to Longville Moor Cider, but I'm only here for the beer. Brewers from around the world said their best to be judged for the Dublin Beer Cup, and previous winners include Cloysbo of Denmark, Horizont of Hungary and Rye River of County Kildare. Plenty of medals were on display at the bars around the exhibition floor, and a list of medal winners included plenty more of my favourite breweries, and some to look out for when travelling around Europe. Overstocked at Garrow Cattle of Alltech to announce the winners of the 2018 Dublin Beer Cup.
Let's have a look at the silver medalists. Again, a great cache of silver medals here. Again, across many nations, and Ireland boxing particularly strong for silver medals. We've awarded a lot of beer, gold, silver and bronze medals in the auditorium here tonight. So certainly watch out for those. You'll see the brewers proudly displaying them on their taps. So let's have a look at the gold medals. This year we had an exceptionally high number of gold medals. And that's not because the snow had blurred the minds of the judges or the palates of the judges. It was because the beers were outstanding. So feast your eyes on the gold medal winners. Some fantastic beers and worthy winners of gold medals. And if we look then at a lot of these beers are actually available in the hall. This year, we've continued to introduce category winners. So the best pale ale, the best IPA, the best stout. Some of these category winners are actually here this evening, exhibiting. So look at the category winners. We have Sam Black has got one over there. Well done, Sam. Kildare Brewing Company's got one for wheat. Well done. Well done, Brendan. We have Wicklow Wolf. I was talking to them earlier on. Proud winner of the IPA. He's very shy down there, absolutely. So and of course the Porter and Stout, we go all the way up to Kinniger for the best Porter and Stout in the entire competition. And remember, it is an international competition.
Here, here.
We then go to O'Connor's Brewing for a really interesting Turkish coffee stout. Fantastic to taste. Absolutely fantastic. And then you'll see we have some winners internationally as well, for example in Kentucky. So all of these awards have been handed out earlier. There's one very special award that we're handing out tonight, and that is the best craft beer in Ireland at this time. The winner is in the auditorium. They're exhibiting. They're over that direction. The winner is... Dublin Craft Beer Cup is a fantastic beer called M63 Bulldog, which I can't pronounce, and the brewery is supposed to have Sorgatesa. That's the Irish version. Please come on stage, Esteban. This is the ultimate prize in craft beer for us, and Esteban wants to dedicate this to his brother Joseph, who passed away in the last few months. So we dedicate this to him, and heartiest congratulations to you and your brewing team. The prize goes to Hungary 2 years in a row. Well done.
As coverage of Ireland versus Scotland in the Six Nations began, I decided to switch off the camera and enjoy the rest of another great festival. As a tribute to Dr. Lyons, I hope we are back here again next year and for many more years to come. More episodes of the ICB show are underway soon. Please say hello to me on Twitter or Facebook, or especially if you see me out and about. I've been Brian Condren, thanks for watching.